Uh-oh, guess what day it is?
It's Rave Day! It's Rave Day! It's Rave Day!
It's Rave Day Podcast with your host.
I fucking love that intro. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you guys heard that right. You're now dialed into the very first episode of Its Rave Day Podcast, hosted by yours truly, Aldo, aka the Historian. I'm joined here tonight with a few good friends of mine. To my left, we have DJ Difinity, and to my far left, we have my good friend Louis, aka Tin Man. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Great. Stupendous.
Glad to hear, gentlemen. Before we even dive into this, I just want to take this time to say thank you so much to Difinity and to my brother-in-law who is out of frame, KevPB. Without you, gentlemen, I wouldn't be able to start this dream of mine. It's Rave Day Podcast. I've been sitting on this idea for quite some time now. A friend of mine's had the idea of starting a podcast a while back. I thought about making a podcast that revolves around rave culture, and we're finally getting the ball rolling on this. It's Rave Day Podcast. We're going to be discussing about various things within rave culture, music, DJs, stories, so on and so forth. Actually, let's get started on a few stories. We'll go ahead and start with Difinity. When did you start raving, sir?
It was about 2 years ago.
2 years, right on. Tin Man, how about yourself?
Yeah, it's been a while. First rave was EDC LA 2010, so it's been a good while. It's been a wild ride.
I hear you on that one, man. That was my first rave as well, man.
10 years.
10 years, definitely.
Thank you. Next year I'm going to be celebrating it in Las Vegas. The 10-year anniversary. Cannot go wrong.
And trying to ballpark this, how many events have you gentlemen done, Difinity, between the 2 years?
4.
4, right on. And Tin Man? 5. Right on.
Massive events, maybe 12 to 15. It's too many to remember. Too many.
It's a decade's worth of, how do you say this? Desmadre. So, of course, it's going to be huge numbers. Myself included, yeah. I want to say it's more than 10 events throughout the span of 10 years as well. My first rave was also EDC 2010. Feel kind of old saying that, but yeah.
You are kind of old.
Yeah, fuck it.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Exactly. Speaking of fun, there's a bunch of events to cover. We're in the month of September currently. September usually draws the beginning of Labor Day weekend. One of the most events that happens during Labor Day weekend out in New York City is Electric Zoo. This year, headlining acts were Eric Pritz, Above and Beyond, and Dogblood. Tin Man? Dogblood.
Dogblood, man. Dogblood. Gary chose them good. He brought the big dogs. He brought Dogblood. It's been a pretty good year for them, starting with their Ultra set. Now their Izu set. I believe they also did an event down in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. And they're going to wrap it up this year with Hard Day of the Dead in LA.
That's when we're going to be gearing up for later in the spooky season. Yeah, Dogblood, man. Been steamrolling this entire year. Definitely one of my favorite duos, Skrillex and Boys Noise. We follow up with Dance Festopia. Dance Festopia is a Kansas City festival. Spans 4 days. It's camping as well. This past weekend, we also had Imagine Festival in Atlanta, Georgia. That festival, don't know too much about it. I just do know for a fact that it really blew up into the limelight after Tomorrow, the departure after 2015.
The tragedy of 2015. All those poor people sleeping on the ground, the cardboard. You don't believe things like that until you see it. Did you guys get those images of those people sleeping on the side of the road because there was no transportation out? The tents were covered in mud. What a disaster.
Yeah, Tomorrow World took a L, but that left room for Imagine Festival. That is Atlanta's long-lasting EDM festival, is like they like to call it. I believe they're running right now. They just did their 8th year. A few acts that played this past weekend was Diplo, The Boys, Zed's Dead, Rez, and also Above and Beyond was in attendance as well. And for September, we got the liberty of attending one of the biggest festivals in Southern California, actually the longest running festival in Northern America, and that is Nocturnal Wonderland. Gentlemen, let's recap Nocturnal Wonderland. That happened a few weekends ago, right? Let's start with me. Yeah, Nocturnal Wonderland. Been doing that for the last 3 years. First one was 2017. Did one day of that one that year. 2018 did the whole weekend. Even camped out. And this past Nocturnal, I also camped out. Yeah, it was good. In terms of the festival, it was great. Had a great time. Though I will say about camping was a little chaotic. It was a bit of a mess, but tried to do the best of it, man. The whole situation. Festival wise, it was great. Saw a few artists that I was looking forward to. Definitely one of the artists that I wanted to see was Subtronics, which I got the liberty of seeing. That was day one, as well as The Zed's Dead.
Yeah, his set was dope.
Who's
Subtronics.
The boy is on fire. Subtronics, he's killing it this year, especially this past summer. Subtronics, he is el hombre. He is el hombre.
Jesse, man. King of the Wonk, Gristronics. Ron, how was your Nocturnal? What was this one? Your second year?
Yeah, second year.
Right on.
Pretty cool.
What'd you take about this year?
I like the lineup. I got to see everyone I wanted to see this time. Last time I didn't. But this time I did.
Why'd you go last time?
Last time I was being attacked.
Oh
Being
man,
chased by a vampire queen.
that's too funny. Tin Man, was this your first Nocturnal?
You know what? It actually was my first Nocturnal and first camping event at that one. It was a very good choice. The last Nocturnal, unfortunately, at the Glen Helen. It's a great run, great history, and it was a stellar weekend. Too much good stuff for the AM PM, and it was fun. It was a blast. The direction that it's been moving, since 2016, 2017, less is more. And I feel that, less is more. It's really good. It's simplified. You have three options, 3 stages, whatever mood you're in, that's where you go, and you're guaranteed to have a good time. Saturday, the Oro, always a good time. All the Hispanic crowd always there. That's always a blast. Zed's Dead, closing out the Base Risk stage.
Deadbeats.
Deadbeats.
It was a Deadbeats
Thank you.
takeover, yeah.
Deadbeat stage, that was amazing. That was just bee's knees. Shout out to the boys. That's dead, and it was a good Saturday, Sunday. Man, I feel like the main stage, really was where it's at. Started good, ended good. Man, the Sunken Garden house going up all night. Labyrinth, it was amazing. It was a great weekend. It was a hot weekend. I don't know about you guys, but man,
That food though.
And before we dive into the great selection of food, to touch up on what you said, the weather that weekend was really horrible. I think that's what really played a factor, at least from my experience this year in comparison to last year. Granted, the camping situation was a bit of a mess, but playing all that together with the weather just didn't help, man. I remember day 2 was a little rocky for me. First time ever while I've been going to festivals, I had to visit the Met tent a few times, which was not fortunate.
It's not fun.
Not fun. Yeah, just dehydration. Plus, camping, you got to keep in mind, camping is a great experience. All the friends that we have, I always recommend them to go camping. But one thing that you have to take away from camping is it's a nonstop party.
Yeah, it's a nonstop party.
Nonstop party. So if you're not ready for that kind of energy, I would suggest just stick to hotels.
If you're not ready for the nonstop party, guys, and then to top it off, the weather that was just scorching hot that weekend, if you were not ready physically and mentally, man, it was just game over. It was hot in the day. It was chilly in the night. All that dust everywhere, and the unorganization of the whole camping experience. You really have to be a real one to just go through it and enjoy it. If not, then you're gonna have a bad time.
That
Probably was the same experience at the hotel I was at.
Wow.
Why was that, Ron?
San Bernardino Inn.
When did you book that hotel?
I didn't book it. One of my friends that was supposed to go with us booked it.
Right on.
She did not do her research. Horrible.
Right on.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Be like that, yeah, dude.
Nah, it was a straight up crack house. Like, no lie. It was a crack house.
Fuck. So
Crack
like,
house.
by the time you guys got there, you saw like a lot of prostitutes going in and all that shit.
There was gangsters checking people in on the way in.
Oh shit!
Like,
Swear.
Like that.
Oh
That,
damn,
bro,
dude.
all bad.
No bueno.
The ceiling in my room was all fucked up. There was cracked and everything.
Shit.
There was stains on the bed already.
Ooh.
From to change the bedding, they did. There was stains on that one too. They're like, oh, don't worry, it's clean.
Damn.
Horrible.
Sounds like although camping sucked, sounds like that was kind of
Sounds
the
like-
way.
Well, that was a different story. There might have been a couple bugs in our tents, but sure it beats the messing sheets and
Yeah.
the crack house. I'll take spiders over a crack house any day.
Yo, I hear you on that one, Tin Man.
You know what's crazy? Everything starts rough, and that's where you kind of get all the bad vibes out, all the screaming and hollering. And then once we have that all out of the way, then I think the good times really come in, and we just start to enjoy ourselves. But we got to get all that bad stuff out, all those bumps,
For sure.
Once you get that out of the way, then it's gonna be smooth sailings,
Smooth sailings for sure, man. Yeah.
Hell of a weekend.
Trying to touch up on more on that weekend. A few takeaways that I had a few predictions going in terms of like set times or whatnot. Not taking anything away from Jaws, but I was surprised that he closed out the main stage on Saturday. Especially him playing at the same time as the boys. Kevin, I believe the other day mentioned something that Jaws, even on stage, was saying to all the fans, were like, thank you guys for coming out. I know you guys could have been out to watch Zed's Dead up the hill, and I appreciate blah blah. Hey man,
it was a tough choice, but
mad props to Jaws for acknowledging that, and that just tells you how much love he has for the boys,
respect,
man.
More
A lot
than
of
anything,
respect.
a lot of respect,
Yeah. I only say that just because when I look at the history of Nocturnal, usually you see De Oro usually close out.
Yep. He was on early.
I know 2015 he played second to last, I think, before David Guetta on one of the days.
Man, 2015, it's amazing.
2016 he actually closed out the festival in its entirety. He played after Bass Nectar, which was kind of crazy.
How do you top that?
I don't know, man.
Shout out to De Oro on that one.
And then also last year he closed out the festival as well. I only mentioned that just because he played 2 shows in one night. He started his set off early. He played at 9, and then soon after that, I would assume, jammed straight out to LA to go to Academy, and he had a headlining show there. I salute to Deodo, man, and matter of fact, salute to all DJs that do that. That's something in the DJ circuit that kind of, as fans, we kind of ignore the fact that these DJs are literally going through sets.
They are just rushing from one place to another.
Yeah.
For the masses, for those who missed out and can't go, they go to the club events, and they do it for us, man. They really do.
Of course, man. So salute to Deodo.
Salute.
So yeah, that's one takeaway that I have. Summer's over, and what better way to close out with DJ Snake, right?
Oh man, it's been DJ Snake's summer, but it's just something about summer and DJ Snake. I don't know what it is, but he knows when to bring out the bangers. Call it what it is: overrated, trendy, mainstream, etc. But DJ Snake gets down, always gonna get down, and boy, oh boy, did he get down.
Tin Man, your first experience of DJ Snake, with this whole summer kind of
Summer vibes,
vibe
summer.
to him, you would credit that to past experiences. So like
every summer that I think I've seen Snake since 2014 Hard Summer, he's been on to the next one, onto the newest, and just he's been killing it every summer. 2014 EDC, 2015 Hard Summer, 2016 he destroyed it. 17. He's on a
20,
roll.
2016 EDC and Hard Summer 2017. I don't think he was at Hard Summer that year. 2016.
No, he wasn't.
He was there. He was there 2015. You said right.
Yes.
That was when he was a special
He was a
guest.
special guest. Yeah. He had that crowd going in Pomona. He had that crowd moving.
Glenjamin, right, on YouTube.
Yes, Glenn.
He has that crazy ass video where the crowd is just going.
The crowd's going bananas. Yeah, it's just you can never go wrong with DJ Snake. It's just always a good time. He just brings out the energy, guys. I don't know about you guys, but there's no way you cannot have fun at a DJ Snake set.
Where were you for his set?
What was the question?
Where were you for his set?
The first set?
No, his set.
His set.
Man, if I remember correct, I was towards the back. I don't remember much, but I think I was towards the back. It was like wrong.
I took an L. Yeah. As I mentioned before, I was not feeling good that whole weekend. That weather really kicked my ass. Day 2, I was in and out of the med teds from the camp to inside the festival. Yeah, I missed DJ Snake there, man, but it's all good. I'm gonna catch in. Well, fuck you, Ron. I missed him there, but there will definitely be another time I'll be able to catch the Snake.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, he's always around. Hopefully, he'll be back around November, December, as he usually does. And yeah, it's just guaranteed good time, man. I don't remember much from DJ Snake set, but I do remember that he played the bangers. He always plays the bangers. It's just there's no way you cannot have fun during a DJ Snake set.
Ron is currently showing me a video of DJ Snake. Yep. Looks about DJ Snake. Oh, damn, you were front and center for that.
Was front and center. Yeah, he killed it.
What a way to close out a fun weekend that was.
Fun weekend, the summer. I mean, is summer really over, at least for us Californians?
Nah, it's never over.
Yeah, man, we're fucking spoiled, man. Pretty decent weather all year round. Gang of fucking festivals all year round as well.
Too many festivals, I think.
Although day 2 was pretty shit for me, I did manage to catch a few good acts. Chris Lorenzo. Anyone got to catch Chris Lorenzo?
Main stage.
I'm starting to see a pattern of a lot of house DJs throwing D&B in their set, man. Chris Lorenzo was throwing down some really good house music, and then out of nowhere, he switched up the vibe and just started slapping some drum and bass, and I'm like, oh,
that was pretty fun. I remember that moment.
First time I ever seen a house act really do that was on a live stream for EDC this past year. Claude at the Cosmic Meadow.
He threw down some
D&B, man,
Nice.
and since then I've been catching a few house DJs with that formula where they come and just slap some drum and bass. I actually like that. It flows well.
Yeah, it does flow well, and it's the right kind of energy towards a house set, and it's fun. It gets everybody moving, and you're not expecting it, but you enjoy it, and that's really good.
Yeah, definitely. I was able to catch as well a little bit of Say My Name. Didn't quite.
Pretty good.
How was it?
You like?
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, you
really
tell us how'd you like his set?
He was really good. Everyone
Yeah.
was saying that he's not really good, but he was very good. One of the best ones this time around.
His set initially inside the festival, I just wasn't feeling it. The bit that I was catching. Now, granted, when I was in the campgrounds, actually waiting for you, Tim, man, to come in throughout the fiasco, you could just hear him throwing down at the pre-party. I actually liked his pre-party set from what I remember, from what I could hear from a distance, better than his actual festival set. Yeah, that's my takeaway for Say My Name on that. Moving away, going towards the Sunken Garden, I did have the liberty to catch the last 15 of Eli Brown, which was great, and the first 15 of Mason Maynard.
Ooh, nice.
That was dope. I then went up the hill to go catch Peekaboo.
Nice.
I was able to see Peekaboo, and granted, mind you, I'll repeat myself again, I just wasn't feeling too good the entire weekend. By going deeper into the night that second day, I was just kind of losing my energy. I love Peekaboo. I love his music. It's just that said, I just wasn't feeling it for whatever reason. After that, I moved back down that hill. Went back, caught, what was it? Joyride.
Oh, nice.
Joyride. Anybody you guys catch Joyride by any chance? Yeah, Ron?
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tin Man, did you catch?
No, I wasn't there, unfortunately.
Where were you at?
That's a good question. I'm trying to figure out myself, man. I had the privilege to be at the Met Tents a couple times and
Shit.
took a couple naps along the way, and it was a pretty wild weekend. And
It'd be like that.
you know what? I was in good hands though. Good music, and that's all I remember. I do remember catching DJ Snake, partially. I do remember catching a Camel Fat back-to-back Solardo. That was a great time.
How was that set?
Stupendous. Front and center with the guys. It was just fun all around from beginning to end. It was great vibes. Everybody was just having a blast. No matter where you look, just smiles left to right. Everybody grooving and just dancing to house music all night long. It was a beautiful moment, if I do say so myself.
We were for sure. Everyone that was in attendance Nocturnal that did go to the Second Garden for that 2-hour back-to-back was in for a treat. I think the week of, was it? They had just announced, pardon me, that Camel Fat was going back-to-back with Solardo. And at first it was going to just be a single, their own set by themselves. And then they had announced the back-to-back. And I do remember a few people were really, really excited for that. Took L on that one as well. Didn't catch that, but you did. I'm glad to hear that.
It was stupendous. Like I said, it was just such great vibes. The night was ending, the weekend was ending. We were all saying farewell to the Glen Helen as a venue, and I think them closing out with the weekend was it was the best decision ever. The vibes were stupendous. Everybody was just having a great time and just dancing to house music, and it was just it was great. It really was. It was a beautiful moment.
Something that Kevin also told me few days back too. We kind of saw this from the beginning of 2018, but house music's on the rise.
House music is on the rise, and it does not look like it's gonna stop anytime soon.
I love it. It's full circle. The first real EDM genre per se, house music. It's come full circle. I love it. I'm not a hater of the house genre. I'm all for it. Definitely, you could hear a lot of house music throughout the entire weekend at every stage. Matter of fact, even Parliament Art Car, even at the Labyrinth for Deadbeats Takeover and Bass Rush, which was kind of weird to say, but you did hear him at that stage too. Another takeaway: the Uzi caught that set.
Wow.
Caught that set. Man.
How was it? Was it everything you
hyped
up to be?
People need to put some respect on Uzi when it comes to trap, man.
Yeah, he's a legend, man. He was one of the first pioneering, well, not the first, but he was one of the first, at least first top 5 trap artists that was rising since 2012, 2013-ish. And yeah, people do gotta put some name respect on that OG.
Put some respect on it.
Put some respect on it, man. He's through thick and thin. He's been at it. He's been a mystery, and which is kind of cool. He's one of the few DJs that stayed mysterious, and throw some respect on that name.
Yeah, Uzi, man, threw down obviously really dope and sick trap set. I was also fortunate enough to catch a very rare Matt Zoo drum and bass set. Yeah, man.
I heard that was really good.
Caught it for a bit. At that point of the night, I was already just done. I ended up just leaving shortly after that. The opening 10, 15 minutes of that set. Fortunately enough, anyone has SoundCloud, you can find it on there. He posted it on there. I'm definitely going to listen to it later on. Listen to it. It's in the entirety of it. But mainly, from what I remember, a bunch of liquid drum and bass, man.
Oh,
liquid, yeah.
nice.
He was throwing the fuck down with that shit. Good treat too, because Matt
Very
Zoo,
good
very
treat.
diverse individual,
He
but
is.
he really rarely plays like certain curated sets like that, man. So that was definitely a treat. If anyone caught that set, man, kudos, because that shit was dope.
That's something really rare that you really won't see probably ever again, and it was a great way to close out the weekend. Just the whole ending towards the night, everything was great, no matter where you were at, I think.
So yeah, as we've been mentioning throughout this segment, the last I'm gonna go ahead and say last event in terms of like rave kind of events at Glen Helen. It is unfortunate. I've always hyped up Glen Helen to be, in my opinion, the number one venue in Southern California. Granted, minus the whole dust situation, but hey, that venue is beautiful. I really don't know what's to come next for Nocturnal. I would imagine something really big. Granted, that next year is going to be the 25th anniversary of Nocturnal. As mentioned before, it is the longest running rave in Northern America. So I would imagine the team over at Insomniac has something cooked up. I for sure won't be in attendance next year. Two reasons, two takeaways for me. They are, I would assume they have already found a venue. They just haven't made it public yet. But with venue changes, I've come to learn that there will be hiccups and anomalies along the way. So although they are gearing up for it to be the 25th anniversary, I do feel like there's going to be a lot of kinks for them to work out. So granted, the first year with the new venue that they do take, I'm going to sit that one out. Even if the lineup is fire, I'm going to sit that one out. And second reason as to why, my old ass actually wants to do Lost Lands next year. Yeah, before I'm fed up with bass music. So speaking of Lost Lands, matter of fact, that is the next festival coming up this weekend. And matter of fact, it kind of closes out the month of September in a way. Lost Lands, it's going to be celebrating its third year. First year that went and threw down was 2017. That's actually Excision's first festival. Kudos to Jeff, man. He's created one of the biggest bass festivals in Northern America, and it's going to continue to grow.
Bless his
Blessed Jeff.
Any takeaways, gentlemen? Ron, have you looked into that lineup? No. How about you, Tin Man? Have you kind of
I've looked into
it
and
to it?
I've seen it grow from years to years, and this year, I feel like it is a little bit more diverse, and you do get a couple different sounds going into the event, and it's really good. What Jeff is doing out there, it's good for the community, letting a lot of the youngsters come into the venue a couple days before, just bringing in a whole community, whole different walks of life down for the love of bass music. And, just having a home for these people for the next weekend coming up, it's really good, man. It's really beautiful. It's only going to grow more and more. He's dominating the bass scene. He's going to dominate eventually the bass events. He's got bass cannon going on as well, too. And that's only going to get bigger and better.
For sure.
And, I know this weekend's going to be great. And Excision's future with bass music's going to be even better, and whoever's going there, shout out to them. They're going to have the time of their life.
For real, man.
They really are.
A few takeaways from I did take a good look at the lineup. And as I saw at a Nocturnal, I highly recommend people catch Subtronics. Subtronics is, in fact, doing a solo set at Lost Lands, and he has gone on record on Instagram and Twitter that pretty much to kind of summarize it in my own words, he's pretty much gonna shit on his own E4 set. Is what he said.
He pointed it out that his Lost Lands gonna shit out E4, which is really hard to do, but you know what? It's possible. It's been his summer, and he's just gaining more and more steam, and watch out for him. Yeah,
that E4 set, very special to him. He threw the fuck down. Matter of fact, that set is where he actually debuted Gristronics. Really, really, really great track.
Brought it out for the masses.
It's his collaboration with Grizz. It's really been picking up steam. You see a lot of artists like DJ Snake, Joyride playing that track. Pardon me. I would not miss that set, Subtronics. Another set that I would not miss is definitely that Circus Affair, that triple threat back to back.
Shout out Circus.
It's Fun Case back to back, Cookie Monster back to back, Dr. P. The last time I remember they threw down that triple threat back to back was actually Project Z 2016. Didn't catch that set, but knowing those three gentlemen, holy fuck, that's gonna be it's gonna be a motherfucker of a set. The only unfortunate part about that set is it does bleed in to the last 30 minutes of Zed's Dead, I believe, and it also bleeds into the first hour of Excision's 2-hour set. So
damn, that is a hard one.
yeah, so if there's any individuals out there that love Excision but at the same time fucks with the Circus Crew, yeah, you're gonna be really shooting yourself in the foot there, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, shout out to the Circus Crew. They've been holding it down forever. They've been doing their thing for close to a decade now.
Yeah, I believe this year actually they out in Denver had a big circus 10-year anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's 10 years of glory there, man. That's beautiful. Let's see what
the boys alongside 12 Planets was really brought out the sound, introduced the sound in 08, 09, and bless them for doing so, man.
For sure, man.
Shout out to Circus.
Speaking of 12 Planets also throwing down day 2. I believe he's going on before Ganja White. Who else? Crazy, but I would not have imagined to see Floss on the lineup.
No, not at all.
Nothing to take away from Floss. I just hope that he throws on a really trap heavy set.
A really heavy set is what he got to do.
And then maybe throw a little bit of dub and rhythm, obviously to curate to the setting.
To the weekend.
For sure.
Yeah, Floss really came out of left field or that one, you know.
Yeah.
Not his first time at the Ohio Valley venue, being as he was there for the Gathering of the Juggalos. But hey, now he's here.
Holy shit! Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, now he's here for Lost Land. So shout out to Flash Adamas for playing out of the comfort zone in Ohio, man.
That's crazy. Yeah, he did play in Ohio for that Gathering of the Juggalos.
Legend Valley. He played a set for the Gathering of the Juggalos back in 2015, and he's back now for Lost Lands.
For Lost Lands, a new breed of Juggalos.
A new breed of
the
Juggalos.
Wooks.
The Wooks. Yeah, shout out to Flash Adamas on that one. Hopefully they do play something really heavy. Obviously cater to the masses, give them a lot of bass, give them what they want to hear, and hopefully everything goes well this time around.
Another set, real Filzy set, man, make you cry. Set the Sky back-to-back dabbing, throwing down that last day. That's going to be a really feelsy set for sure. Everyone wants to get in their feels. That's one good one to get into for sure. A mixture of styles as well. Slander back-to-back Spaghetti. That's one that as soon as I saw that on the lineup, glued into that for sure. They have a collaboration together. I believe, don't know at the top of my head what's the name of that track. But that's a pretty dope collaboration, Slander and Spaghetti. And to close out the weekend, and I've jokingly compared this back-to-back to be similar to a Seven Lions set.
Oh, man.
Excision back-to-back Millennium. Ron, or should I say Difinity, pardon me, what do you feel about that?
It's going to be epic.
10 man?
It's going to be epic. Millennium's year has been his year for a while, and he's picked up a lot of steam this year. He's doing his huge show in Madison Square Garden.
He just performed that, didn't he?
And now he's going to go, with Excision, closing out Lost Lands. It's going to be pretty good. It's going to be one for the books, definitely, and you cannot miss it. It's those two giants have just been dominating, for the past couple of years, and things are looking well for them, and whoever's there, they're in for a treat.
It's going to be the biggest thing since the Big Bang. Hopefully the dinosaurs don't die out, though. not this time.
Talk about how cool the dinosaurs are, though?
Yeah. Actually, something that almost slipped my mind, Lost Lands and Excisions is for the kids.
Yeah, Excision is for the kids, for the family.
I found out last year, and I didn't know if this was true or not, but we did get confirmation just a few days ago on Los Angeles Instagram page. But it seems like they do open up the festival grounds for the kids in the community. Yeah. That's dope. Excision being a huge dinosaur fan, as you see in some of his throwback pictures when he's a little kid wearing a dinosaur onesie, that to do that to the next generation of children it's awesome, man. It's awesome, and it's a good way to build good relations in the community for sure. And those little kids, I'm pretty sure, will grow up, some of them wanting to either be fascinated with dinosaurs, be archaeologists, or whatever it is that people do to study dinosaurs.
Yeah, shout out
Think
big guy
archaeology.
Jeff over here inviting the community. Like I said,
sure.
he's bringing the youth, he's bringing the younger generation, he's bringing the older people. You know, Bass just brings everybody together. Dinosaurs brings everybody together, and it's gonna be a really good weekend for the community, for all those fans going down there to check out Lost Lands. Jeff really is for the people.
For sure. Would you ever go to Lost Lands, Difinity?
I would.
Yeah. How about
Sunday.
how about yourself, Tin Man?
If the money was right, yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
Why not?
What if Noisia performed next year? Would you
That'd
try to
be
make
pretty
it out?
good, but if I'm not mistaken, they are going to break up soon. And something we don't want to hear. You know, these guys have been killing it for a while now. But you know, if they do decide to just throw down one last time there, then you know it'll definitely be worth checking out.
Yeah, man, 2 decades. Actually, I have a little
20 years.
kind of mission statement or thing that they have posted publicly about that. I'm gonna go ahead and read about this. Noisia, 2020. After 20 years of being Noisia, we are ready to become something new. We've all grown as people and as musicians. For almost 20 years, all three of us wanted pretty much the same. But we've developed and realized that nowadays we want different things. If we all wanted the same different things, it would make sense to do that as a different Noisia. But we want different things. That's why we've decided to, for us and for our listeners, it's most honorable and respectful choice to put an end to this chapter and start the next one. Noisia has always been about making a few compromises as we can. When Noisia becomes a compromise in itself, it's time to move on. We've tried to realign ourselves over the last few years to keep the wagon on the rails, but the reality still is. We are not who we were before, and the time of doing everything together because we all want the same is behind us. Noisia is a game that we completed. There's a very little left for us to explore together. Noisia is a beautifully consolidated shape, and we want to leave Noisia in the same shape rather than to keep chiseling at it with the risk of ruining it. And a good artist should know when an artwork is finished. The statement continues, but I'll leave it at that. Tiffany, what do you think about that?
20 years.
Wow.
That's a long time to be with somebody. It's gotta hurt, you know. It's right there. 20 years.
Tin Man?
It definitely hurts. You know, them being one of the OGs pioneering bass music, it's definitely gonna be a loss. But you know, I do feel them as artists. You know, you grow, you change, and you know, once you feel like you've accomplished what you had to, you know, then you know, it's only respectful to leave, you know, the masterpiece as is, and you know, just move on to the next chapter in life. You know, I remember the first I heard of them was a remix they did of Skrillex back in the day, and you know, hearing that sound, hearing that just that heavy bass in your ears was just, it really was mind blowing. It was life changing, and I was like, "Yo, who are these guys?" And you know, I followed up on them more and more, and you know, the more you dig into them, the more you just amazed about, you know, all the different sounds they make, and you know, their variety of bass music. You know, it's really good. It's something different, and mad respects to them for holding it down for the past 20 years. And if they're on to the next one, well, then you know, by all means.
Just think of it this way. There's 3 of them. That means 3 times more music.
Yep.
For sure. And yeah, to touch up on what you guys just said, 20 years, man, it's beautiful. But for sure, the 3 of them have other things in mind, and that's something you have to respect. And definitely, it's a good decision on them to end the chapter before they ruin that you know, project. They did a significant amount of the things within bass music, revolutionized sound, helped new artists and old. So salute to those 3.
Salute.
And wish them nothing but the best moving forward.
Yeah, I feel like the bass scene is definitely in good hands. It is evolving. You do have a ton, and have a ton of new artists who have been holding it down, and change is here, whether we like it or not, and maybe their departure as a bass scene is just it's a blessing in disguise for these new sounds to come in, and for us to accept change. A lot of the time as a older head, sometimes we're so used to the old sound, and we want the old sound, and we don't really appreciate the new sounds until it's gone, and we wish we had it back. So I feel like their departure, it's a little blessing in disguise, and bass scene is gonna change more and more, and we're here to listen to it.
It's funny you say that, but that's how I feel about Big Room. Oh, man. I was so fed up with Big Room when I got back into the scene that I was just like, what the hell is this crap, man? Knock this crap off. And then now that, and like I said, nothing against house music. I love house music, but you definitely see an oversaturation in genres right now. So you do miss that wave. Yeah, time to time you miss the wave and you wish it comes back. But yeah, man. Salute to Noisia and Noisia, and we hope the best for them.
Nothing but the best.
Let's move on to better news. Wolfgang, Tin Man.
He made a post about him going through some issues, and unfortunately abusing a couple things, and he did go into rehab, and if I'm not mistaken, he is a DONE. He is done with it, correct?
Yeah, let me actually read the statements that he put up on his socials. Friends, fans, and fam. A little over a month ago, I checked myself into rehab for substance abuse. My life had become unmanageable, and I had tried to quit on my own many times with no long-term success. I'm now back home in California with 30 days of clean and sober time under my belt. A lot has changed in my outlook on life and game plan for the future, but one thing remains the same. Producing music and DJing is still the only thing I feel compelled to do more than anything else on earth. I am blessed to still have an outlet for what I love to do, and I'm looking forward to getting back in the studio and on the road. I had been operating under the false notion for many years that I needed drugs to inspire me and enhance my abilities. Now that I've broken that fallacy, I realize how much more inspired and creative my mind is, and am itching to get back to doing what I love. I have new music on the queue to be released, and will be in Denver at Temple next Saturday to kick off the next chapter. Thank you for the support in what has been a challenging but incredibly fulfilling time in my life, and I hope to see you out there. Additionally, if you or someone you know is struggling with substance abuse, I want to say that life has a way of presenting new opportunities and possibilities when you get sober that you may not have even fathomed before. And while it's not an easy process, it is extremely rewarding. I hope my personal experience can help somebody else there who is struggling making that decision to get help and begin on the road to recovery. So, salute to Wolfgang Gartner, and wish to hear nothing but great things moving forward.
Really good to hear. He's been doing his thing for a while now, and DJs they have a hard life. They're always on the road, always their own substances, and shout out to him for knowing when to change and making that change, and he's gonna be putting out music for us, and nothing but the best for him.
Still, one of my greatest collaborations is the ones he has with Deadmau5 and with Skrillex, especially that Skrillex collab, man.
The Devil's Den, yeah, that's a banger, man. Always a banger. Too bad you don't hear it too often, but
when you do, it's very nostalgic, man. It throws you back to that 2012 time period.
I think the last time I heard the Devil's Den was, if I'm not mistaken, Jack U's Hard Summer 2014 said he actually played that Monstrous VIP edit. Man, they dropped that, and crazy thing is, as soon as they dropped it, what happens when the flames go up? The rain comes down, and it was just like a whoa moment, and that's Wolfgang Gartner, just whoa, it came right out.
Right on. Let me hit the applause for that, dude. It's crazy, man. Like we were talking about earlier in the episode, we have Difinity here. You've just been raving a little short of 2 years, and Tin Man and I have been in this for a goddamn decade, man.
Wow.
It's been a lovely journey, though. Yeah, we're old as shit, but fuck it. I love this culture, man. Fucking love it. It's part of the inspiration as to why I wanted to do this podcast. I feel like as the time goes by, everything is just changing from artists, music, festivals. The game is constantly being rechanged. I feel like it's my public service or our public service to kind of, shape I wouldn't say shape, but definitely create a platform where people could get information. People that are either already in the culture or plan to get into it. So
yeah, most definitely. The more the more we can let people know what's new, what's hot, what's happening, the better.
Yeah, love it, man. That is the first episode, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say thank you once more for tuning in. This is the first of many. Really excited for this. This project of mine, project of ours, the dream moving forward. For sure, next episode. Well, we're pretty much at the end of September, which means October. Spooky fucking season. Yeah, man. Bunch of Halloween themed festivals continuing on. It's going to be a jam-packed October.
Jam-packed.
And moving forward into the holiday season. So it's something to really be excited for. So yeah, tune in into the next episode. We're going to be discussing more nutty shit, more rave-related things.
A lot of cool stuff.
Maybe even some special guests.
Ooh.
Maybe. Who knows? But yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in for the very first episode of Its Rave Day Podcast.
Woo!
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is?
It's Rave Day!
It's Rave Day!
It's Rave Day! It's Rave Day, baby!
So as they say in Canada, peace out.